the ayah in Surah An-Nahl, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us to have sabr, or addressing the Prophet ﷺ and all of us. And he says, وَمَا صَبْرُكَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. So he's commanding sabr, but then he immediately after that, he says, and your sabr will not be except by Allah. So this is another mistake that we make, is that we think that, like, you know, it's all on me. This myth of I got this. You know what I mean? Like because I'm so tough, I'm spiritually tough, or I'm so you know, I'm religiously tough, or I'm so close to Allah that I got this. You know what I mean? Like give me all you got. I got this. That's the most foolish type of attitude one can have, because if you really look at these prophets, all of them, they had the exact opposite reaction, the exact opposite response. And that is that, like, take for example the dua of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَلَا تَكِلْنِي إِلَى نَفْسِي طَرْفَةَ عَيْنٍ. He'd say, do not leave me to myself for the blink of an eye. He's not thinking, I got this, you know, I've got my sabr muscles, you know, so I can do this. You know, he's actually asking God, do not leave me to myself for the blink of an eye. And if there's anyone who would have been able to got this, it would have been the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But he recognizes, he knew that he couldn't do it without Allah. And that's why he says, do not leave me to myself for the blink of an eye. And so when Allah's saying have sabr, he says, وَمَا صَبْرُكَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ, that your sabr is not except by Allah. So when we're trying to be patient, or we're trying to get through a struggle, the biggest mistake we can make is to rely on ourselves, is to rely on our own strength, to rely on our own sabr even. Because we have to recognize that sabr only comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my advice to you is stop relying on yourself. Stop thinking that the sabr is going to come from inside of you, because it doesn't. Sabr only comes from Allah as a gift. So ask Allah. That's it. That's it. Ask Allah. And one thing I just want to, like a caveat here, footnote, be careful about making dua specifically for sabr. No, this sounds strange. This sounds like, wait, what? This is like opposite of everything you're saying. No, it's a very subtle but important point. One time, the Prophet ﷺ, one of the companions, was asking for sabr. And he actually told him, don't ask for sabr, because when you ask just for sabr in and of itself, like you say every day, okay, I'm asking for sabr, I'm asking for sabr, you're essentially asking for hardships. And the reason for that, I know, look at Hafsa's face. The reason for that is this. Imagine that you go to a personal trainer and you say, I want to be strong. I want to be strong. Okay, that's great. You want to be strong, but what have you also asked for? You've asked for that trainer to put a lot of weight on you, because that's what makes you strong. So as a footnote, we don't ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give me sabr, just as a thing, although we want sabr in times of hardship. So what's the answer? Well, one thing my teacher taught me is ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Well, obviously, first and foremost, let me just go back to the hadith. The Prophet ﷺ advised that man, rather than asking for sabr, he advised him to ask for afiyah. Afiyah is a comprehensive, like, umbrella term that includes safety, well-being, ease, all of these things. So we should always ask for afiyah. Now, where does sabr come in? Sabr is something we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make it easy for me to have sabr. Make it easy. So, and I want to emphasize the word ease here, because we should be asking for ease. We should not be asking for hardships, and we should not even just simply be asking for sabr, because along with that comes a lot of hardships. So essentially, it's not about asking for hardships or even for sabr, but asking for ease within our difficulties and giving us sabr with ease. All right. So I know that's like a subtle point, but it's very important. And just recognizing that sabr does not come from us. It's a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So asking Allah to make it easy for us, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make sabr easy for us.